Welcome to this edition of JN Interactive, and my name is Marian Ture. The Eid celebrations continue, and there is so much to eat in so many homes. But unfortunately, students in special schools are in distress. Head of special schools have to do a lot of management, as we say here in Ghana, to feed students. This is because government has not released feeding funds, and last term's feeding grants have not been paid either. So on this very special Eid day, we follow up on special school feeding grants, and like I said before, I'll also teach you how to tweet, and you definitely don't want to miss this, an upcoming tutorial. This is it. If you are new to Twitter, or you're dying to know how to tweet, how to follow people and them following you back, and ultimately follow JNI, then this is the place for you. This is JN Interactive. Let's get talking.
Joy News Interactive is brought to you in association.
So JNI is proudly supported by Surfline, and we are really grateful to them. They say it's about time. I'd like to announce all the social media tools that you need to get in touch with the show, because hey, this show is about you and about what you are talking about on social media. We're on facebook.com/joynewsontv. Like the page first, then you can comment on all the posts we put there. We'll amplify your voice by sharing what you're sharing with the rest of the world. We are on Twitter. We tweet at Joy News on TV and at JN Interactive GH. And you would find me, Marian Ture, on Twitter at MN Ture. You can email us, joynewsim@multitvworld.com. And our WhatsApp number remains 054-0109-009. So it is no news that feeding grants for special schools have delayed, and that headmasters of special schools are struggling to put food on the tables of their inmates. The news here is that the president of the Conference of Heads of Special Schools, Charles Bekele, promised on JNI that the feeding grants will be dispersed. He said this on September 18, 2014, when we spoke to him earlier on. But what happened? Let's play back visuals from September 18th and then start talking.
Yeah, all schools now have to take some of the, we have to take egg off the menu, because 2 cedis, 20 pesos a day cannot provide for egg as part of breakfast. That's why we have had to reduce the amount of bread that is taken at breakfast. Maybe we used to have bread and tea 4 times a week, but because of the rising cost of food, we had to reduce it to bread 2 times a week, because the price of flour has gone through the roof. So we cannot buy enough flour and bake bread for them. And the challenge too is that you asked earlier on about how much food that we have. I told you that from the top of my head, but at full house, we have less than a week's supply.
Less than a week's supply.
Full house. That is when the whole student population is in school now, we have less than a week's supply of food. But presently, school has just opened and the students are trickling in. That is how we are able to manage. Yes, but when at full house, that is when the total population of 360 is in school, I cannot feed them for more than 10 days. No, I've had to introduce other foods that do not require that they take bread. So when they were taking tea and bread, now I have to introduce oblayo, which was not maybe part of the breakfast. When we're giving them porridge, a certain quantity of porridge with bread, we have to increase the quantity of porridge to make for the lack of bread that we have. You understand? Maybe we have to eat rice maybe 8 times a week, but we have to reduce the rice to maybe 4 or 5 times a week. Then maybe we introduce beans, gari and beans, which maybe we're eating twice a week. Now we have to eat more gari and beans, because that is what we have in stock at present.
Man, they suffer him, no fit talk na condition. Man, they suffer him, fit talk na condition too. Man, they suffer him, no fit talk na condition. Man, they suffer him, fit talk na condition too. Suffer de Africa, bakbaraba. I suffer de bakbaraba. Condition de bakbaraba. me, I know say you be African man. And we they suffer, which condition you they, I don't know. The condition me, I know. My condition don't reach, make I act. Oh!
As we say in this country, yeah, wow, this one there. The food has been drenched in gari that it looks like concrete. Jesus, God help us. But let's go on the telephone line and talk to President of the Conference of Heads of Special Schools, who is in the person of Jasa Bekle. He's actually on the phone now. Good evening and welcome. Hello.
Hello, my sister.
How are you doing?
Good. Welcome from the break.
Thank you, and happy Eid to you.
The same to you, my sister.
Thank you so much. But, you know, you gave a 10-day ultimatum, and you actually promised the special school feeding grants will be dispersed. What happened?
We could not make it within the 10 days.
Why couldn't you? What happened that you couldn't make?
The money didn't flow from the top to the bottom.
Okay. So it's not from your end, it is from the pipeline, the end where the money is coming through, so you couldn't grab it out. Yeah. Okay, so when should we actually expect these schools to receive feeding grants? I'm sorry, the line was crackling. I couldn't hear that.
I've been having interactions with the was in charge of finances.
Okay. Okay.
And I made it clear to them that things are not very good in the schools because we've resumed and it's a but the got so good. They promised it that the money were in £5 this week. They sure promised. Yeah.
Mr. Bekele, I'm actually struggling to hear you right now. If you could actually reposition yourself and then speak to us. The line is really crackling.
Can you get me now?
I can hear you. Please go on.
Okay. Yeah, I've been saying we've been having interactions with the headquarters of the Ghana Education. And the last time we spoke was yesterday night. Okay. Specifically. And I expressed the challenges that the heads are going through, especially this term when we had to resume with virtually nothing to manage.
Right.
And they also sympathize with us, and they were worried about the delay in the grant. And before you even ask the next question, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my colleagues for managing within this very challenging situation. And God bless them so much. By the grace of God, the money will come this week.
Well, you said this week. When this week? We've only just begun. So shall we
this week ends on Friday. So, between now and Friday. I don't want to make any specific promise and then you hold me on it now.
No, but we will still hold you on that. So, but then, even if you're saying this week, why should we actually believe that this time around something would happen? Because your last word, I'm sorry, nothing happened to it.
Yeah, there was some choke in the pipeline. That's why the promise could not be fulfilled. But this time, the pipeline is clear, so clear, crystal clear. Yeah.
It's, I am hoping that, I'm laughing not because I'm actually making fun of this whole situation, but we seem to have government doing this to us a lot of the time, that every day there's something in the pipeline, but the thing never actually comes out of the pipeline. And it would take people like you to flush it out. So how do we then flush it out and get the people to get the food that really they need? Because your sympathy, of course, is I'm sure they're grateful, but sympathy doesn't put food on the table for these children.
Yeah, as I said earlier on, we'll be having interaction. Very, very fruitful one. And this time around, the money will fall into the account of the various institutions this week. And then next week, it depends on the account and the bank with which the school is operating. Schools operating with the central Central Bank. Definitely they will have it this week.
Right.
But schools operating with Commercial Bank, Standard Bank, blah, 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 they may have it probably late this week or next week. Yeah, so definitely we're receiving the money, especially the arrears for last term.
Sure.
And a little bit of that of this term.
Okay. And this is JN Interactive. We will hold you to your word, and we will definitely...
A bit louder, my sister.
I said this is JN Interactive, so we will hold you to your word. We will get back to you Friday, latest Monday. If we haven't heard anything, we would hold you. But if you do it too, then congratulations in advance.
You just call me anytime.
Most definitely.
Anything happen. God bless you for the good work you're doing.
God bless you too, and thank you for, obliging to speak to us.
You're welcome.
Well, it's amazing. We want to ask you, we've been out there to ask you about your thoughts on everything that has happened. How do you feel about government's delay of feeding grants to the special schools? So let's take our first video blog.
Other students are being catered for, so why must they go through all this problem? Because I actually think they don't have anybody to take care of them, and I think the governments are those who are in the best position to cater for them as well. The government should get to their aid and provide them with their basic needs, such as maybe food and maybe some clothing. Okay.
They have to give them some money so that the school feeding program is going to expand.
Won't qualify. Don't qualify. They can't be a she be one pinch of your mommy. But send them what they require and they have me scar. Oh no, what's the fire, mommy? Wow, seriously.
They are human beings like us. Only that for we don't have posts. For we no posts. So the government should know that those people who they are bigger than us and they have posts than us. They use Mercedes. Many of these attitude when get the big people they drink champagne. You understand me? So they have to know that we have to think about our future for our next generation.
Back, and you can see, parents are really suffering out there. And of course, we all need to garner some support for the less privileged in society to get what really is due them. And after all, that's what JN Interactive is all about, giving a voice to the voiceless and bringing half hour, of your voice on TV. We'll go for a quick commercial break. Please don't go away, because when we come back, I'll be taking your comments that are trending on social media. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching JN Interactive with me, Marian Toure, and your comments that have been trending on social media. I will take some of them now, the ones that have come through on Facebook, and several have dropped in. Let's start with Magzi Mubarak says, this is just a few of what the good people of Ghana should prepare to face when John Mahama finally introduces his so-called free SHS next year. I am tired of being a Ghanaian under JM leadership. Abdullahi Hamid says JM and his government only know how to talk. Kwabena Frimpong, what do you expect from NDC and President Mahama government? Nothing but corrupt minds. Ababa says, I hope and pray that as agent as it is, the government will release the fund. I'm sure you probably want to say urgent. Okay. And Randolph says, what a pity. OGH Mensa John. I wish the NDC government will do something better, I'm sure. Government should give apology to the creditors, and that's coming from Karim Abdul Maman. And Karim again says, I think it's a repetition of what you wrote. Joseph says, where at all is Mother Ghana going to? Sweet to bitter? Please, if the government cannot continue the program, why not stop it? Then discouraging the poor and innocent headmasters. Headmasters turn liars because of the incompetency of government. Jocelyn Sandra Smith, talkative government but clueless and naive in running Ghana's economy. Chia. Hi. Your words are potent, Papa. Oscar says government is not serious at all. Imbo says this should not come as a surprise. This government is turning our great country into a laughing stock. What kind of sharing competences is this? The government is gradually becoming consistently inconsistent. Ankoma says, you see the kind of government we have, they have just misplaced priority. Joseph, God help Mother Ghana and the poor kids. Salam John says, come on, these types of menace never stops in Ghana. Money is threading through individual loopholes whilst institutions are suffering. Abba, with 2 exclamation signs, you're frustrated. I don't blame you. In spite of all these, the government is still terminating the services of teachers, and that's coming from Nana Iyao. Saeed says, Mariam, we miss you too much. Saeed, I miss you too. Thank God. And Kuma says, John Mahama and his NDC, I'm sure you're writing NDC thieves, but you're all together now, only know how to create, loot, and share among themselves. Hussein Adams, Mr. President, where has we as a people gone wrong in contributing to voting you into power? Gushegu, and this comes from Majid Awuru. You're just saying, welcome, Marian. Thank you, Majid. I missed you guys too, the entire clan, to Christian Salvo and all the others in Tamale who started this show with us last August. And dare I say, we are a year strong now, and we're a year strong because of you. Most of you started with us from the first day. You haven't dropped off. You have still stayed on, and the community is growing. High five to you all, and thank you for staying. I love you too back. And Kaba says, our leaders, for you, they don't care about anybody. This is so sad. Oh God, Lord, come to our aid, Ghana. That some of them are very, very strong. But then I'll drop off on the comments for now, and then we will do classroom. Teacher Marian is back, so we are coming to learn something. The hashtag, the tweets, the retweets. It's a terrain many of you or many Twitter users are not really familiar with, but there are many people who are dying to know how to tweet, the first tweet. So if you don't have a Twitter account, go and create one, and then follow JN Interactive and follow moi as well, that we can continue with the community. Today, I'll run you through some few steps, so please keenly pay attention to this video. Stay on.
Okay, so let's start on interacting with people on Twitter, and you can see that I'm following a bunch of different people, and all of those tweets are listed over here on my home, and I can see and read each of these tweets and interact with them, such as this one. This is Hillary, and she says that she is down from 3,000 emails to 500 emails in her personal inbox, and I can reply to her by clicking reply. And what I can do is, I just want to reply Hillary. I will just cut this Emmy portfolio, and what I will do is to type something which is related to this tweet. So I just thought that, hey, that is great, being organized and cutting clutter. So I can just tweet it, and after I tweet it, it will be replied to her, and she will see that reply on the connect menu. And at the same time, this reply has also been updated on my tweets. I can see tweet, and I will see just the same way my followers will see the same, that I have said, hey, that is great, being organized and cutting clutter. So this is a way to interact with people and directly mentioning people. So if I click on it, you will see that the first tweet was from her and I replied it. So it's like a conversation, just like a comment or forum thread. Now that you know about replies, let's talk about retweets. So let me go to home. On my home, you can see my new tweet over here, and what I can do is to retweet, such as, let me go a few ways down and see other tweets, and I find an interesting tweet by Common. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. Okay, this is nice.
Welcome back. So I am sure that you've gone through that video with us and now you understand how to tweet. But let me run you through something small. From today, make sure you send your comments or your views through to us also on the hashtag JNIGH. As we end the show, let's first look at something. But before we look at that something, I wanted to show you this. This is the hashtag, because sometimes when you show people things, it's much better than to say it. So from here on, when you send your comments to the show on Facebook and also on WhatsApp, now that you've set up your Twitter accounts, hopefully by today you will have one running. Woohoo! And I'd like for you to tell me all about it. So when you tweet JNI, hashtag JNIGH, that is the short form, or the long one would be JN Interactive GH with the hashtag. That allows for me to open all your tweets at once. It means that once I click JN Interactive GH or JNIGH, all your tweets will drop, then I can take them sequentially, and then I don't have to go up and down. So we are going to have lots and lots and lots of fun here. Steve Ainty is joining me in a minute, but before he does that, let's see if we have any other comments so that we can bridge the gap, and then Steve can join me. Final comment says this one is coming from Junior Loves Camry. So this is fair at all. Is it a question or you're just saying something? Why are we discriminating like that? Against whom? Well, I should finish it. That fact that they are in special schools do not mean that we are mere mortals like you and I now. What the creditors are harassing the headmistresses as if this is their fault. Very sad. This is hard times. They hit the streets because IDs just don't make sense anymore. The injustices is just too much. God save Ghana. So you've created your own hashtag, God save Ghana. Another one, a big welcome. Hacks to you, Mariam. Good to have you back. With your back is like so many CCC and Ks. And thank you for having me back also. I thoroughly enjoyed my first day back with you all. Steve is back. We can end the show for today. Yay!
You don't want to finish, right?
I do.
Yeah, it's time to finish. Yeah. For people to just go and continue their holiday. My name is Stephen Ainty. We're grateful that you could hang up with us.
Yes.
On such a wonderful.
On such a wonderful. Do you have your phone here? So we can take a selfie and give it to them later.
No, I don't.
Wow, look at you.
I don't do selfies.
He doesn't do selfies. Yeah. My name is Marian Ture.
And Stephen Ainty here.
Have a good rest of the holiday. He looks like a small school boy. Well, bye-bye.
Thank you.